What's up, CrossFit Ramon and everyone watching? Welcome to our 13th episode of Keeping It Real with TNL. Coach Ty and I have so much to talk about today, fun stuff coming to the gym and major big things. So let's go.
We're going to start with a couple of big announcements and things that we have going on at the gym that'll be coming soon. First off, starting in April, Monday evening, 6:30 p.m. will be a beginner's class. Guys, this is a big deal. Even if you may be if you've been doing CrossFit, this may still be a great class for you if there's some things that you want to get good at or you like a slower pace so you could actually take the time to learn. And it's not going to be a big thing. It's going to be for people who are just kind of learning. And also, if you're completely new and you've only been here a few days, we've definitely had a lot of new members signed up this month, and I know there's going to be a bunch next month. So that being said, this would be a great opportunity to come in and learn at a slow pace so you could build the confidence that you need to get into the normal pace of class and not feel like you're falling behind. We understand that a lot of people tend to struggle with that, and that's one of the ways that we plan to mitigate that, so we can give you guys the confidence that you need to get into the classes and just kill it. Not only that, another thing that is huge that I'm looking forward to on Sundays, once a month for the 8:30 a.m. class, it will be the CrossFit Academy. It's going to be a big deal. I'm actually looking forward to that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's going to give us as coaches a chance to go over the 9 fundamental CrossFit movements with you guys. But not only that, it's also going to give us a chance to, again, work at a slower pace where if there's certain things that we also cover in that class, from proper kettlebell swing techniques, things that you could do to develop your pull-ups, all these things are going to be something that you could have in your pocket to help you out as you get into the normal class. But again, it's always nice to have a place where you kind of come through at a slower pace, almost like a study hall, and just get the techniques down, get the basics down so you can feel confident as you travel along the road of your fitness career here. So hopefully you guys enjoy that once it happens. So make sure that you guys are actually showing up, because like we always say, if there's no buy-in, we may not keep it up. So make sure that you guys are present.
Awesome. What I also love about the Sunday at 8:30 is that if you're wanting more, just stay for the 9:30 class, right? Like we do that. I'll come to barbell and then I'll go into 9:30 CrossFit. And I love that. It sounds like it's going to be a big deal. That might be a reservation thing. And as far as the academy goes, I'm down for it being open to anyone. You can get a drop in on the website and sign into that class and be a part of it, because I want everyone to have great technique and form and understand movement. So literally, it sounds amazing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
But wait, there's more.
Oh.
Yes, there's more. So coming in April, we're going to be doing a CrossFit mobility class. That's going to be Thursday evenings from 6:45 to 7:30 in Suite O. I'm not going to go into too many details just yet with that. We're actually going to talk about that later in the episode. So stick around so you could kind of hear how we're going to be laying that out and what our goals are by starting this particular class. So before we dive into that, though, the next thing that we're going to be going into is going to be,
a few things. No, you're fine.
Things. I'm
jumping ahead. I'm just going to ask you to save me a spot.
I got you. I'm
gonna throw like the nepotism coaches, like, hey, can you give me the class right? Thanks. I'll just come in from Suite P and backdoor into Suite O and then sign in later, even if it's full. No, but really, like, it's such a big deal because I know, like, for me, the daily workouts are life. Like, I got to keep moving. It's why I'm feeling better and stronger. I mean, obviously it didn't stop allergy season, but the rest of me is feeling better. But I know that I'm only putting in maybe 15 to 25% of the mobility that I should be at this age and stage with how hard I'm training. And if I'm like in a class and you're leading it, or, like, then I'm all in, because then it's that class mentality and I'm in. But if it's the end of the workout, I'll be like bonus abs in another class before I do mobility. And you're like, Lori, Rome wasn't built in a day. Stretch, girl, right? That kind of thing.
No, so absolutely. So I completely love what you actually said there, because that is so true. All of us know, like, during the end of the workout that we should stretch, but naturally we usually use that time to do our own specialty things, whether, like you said, some people like the bonus abs. I've been a sucker for, after a workout, throwing up, doing some GHDs and trying to practice on certain movements or stuff like that, which is, it's all fine, but you're still neglecting something that could actually make all of that better, which is mobility. Yeah. So that's a big deal. Now, Next thing we're going to be diving into the Monday fix on sleep was a hit. We're getting comments on Facebook and Instagram, people talking about it in the class. Let's kind of talk about that.
Even Coach McKenna said it was her favorite Monday fix yet.
I love that.
Yeah. And then today, Kwok, after like giving it 2000% in the 8:30 class, like he always does, sitting over there in the lounge, and he's like, yeah, I got to get more sleep. It was like speaking to me. Like, I'm just paraphrasing, but it's nice because I've known him since 2014, but it's the first time we ever really talked about specifically his health and something he should do to make it better. And I'll be honest, I was shocked by the correlation that a fit, healthy person who's not getting enough sleep will see as much as a 25% increase in insulin. And I was like, oh God, I didn't even know that, right? So you know how I feel about insulin. It's not a secret that it's the driver of all bad things. Had my blood work done today for like my 7-8 month check-in on my insulin. I start my CGM on my tricep today. I'm going all in because I feel like you and I both know, and we say this all the time, it's just leading by example. I don't tell you to eat a certain way and then DoorDash crumble cookie. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never had one. I never will. Even if it didn't have wheat in it, I never would, because they lie to you with the calories. They're like 300, but that's like if it's cut into 6 pieces, or 4.
Really?
It's a night. Yeah, it's like
you guys are getting some secrets.
So yeah, sugar industry winning with crumble because they're like dosing everybody. But that insulin thing was great because it just 8 weeks now of Monday fix, and they all just lead in to each other and full circle and tie together. And people are listening and getting it. And
that's what I was going to start capitalizing and just say, one, I appreciate you bringing that to the gym. You're the one who rolled this whole entire program out, and you've carried it out for the past 8 weeks. And it's actually been a huge hit. And it's been a hit for a couple of reasons. Number one, we appreciate sharing everything that with the members about their health and other ways that we could help them out other than just running clocks. But also it's helping the coaches learn, because by me having to go and do the Monday fix, it's helping me get a deeper knowledge of how important other aspects are to health and just working out. It is so much deeper. And, most people don't I would say that a lot of people may not reach this stage in their fitness career with starting, because most people just think it's about looks and aesthetics, but it is so much deeper to overall health and feeling good, curing chronic disease, obviously mitigating and taking preventative steps towards even having those things. And that's what most people don't really talk about, the benefit. And you've actually brought that to the spotlight, and that's been huge, because that should give people a much bigger why. Once you have your biceps big, it's like, okay, well, now what? It's like, no, it isn't about that. It's about, can I have a long life? Can I live without having to take medications? Can I go through my day without constantly having energy crashes and being in pain? And you're giving people the way to make that a possibility. Yeah. And that's huge. Yay. So thank you for bringing that.
Of course. Okay. So one more thing before we deep dive into mobility. We had a question in the box.
Oh,
she put her name on it, but we're not going to call anybody out. Like we said, it's anonymous. Yep. How can I tone my thick thighs when I think it's all muscle? And it wasn't me. I know how to get a little more fat. I know what's going on with my legs. But that's a solid question, because women especially are very self-conscious about their butt and legs, chest, and like, right? Yes. They're very like, I need my legs to look a certain way in heels. It's bathing suit. It's short season. I can't wear my pajama bottoms year round in California. It gets hot. So this is a valid question. Like, what's our answer to that? Because I know what you're going to say, but I want to hear you say.
Okay. So yes, I completely do get this question asked to me all the time, especially with newer members who come in. They're like, hey, I just want to get rid of this little part here, or I don't want to do too much here, but can you help me here? And one of the number one things that I just want to get out there right now is that there is no such thing as spot reduction. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that you can't work on a particular muscle group and begin to build it up. But the best way to get anywhere in the fitness, you know what? Let me scratch that. I'll just use an example. So let's say that this right here is your thigh. This is your thigh muscle. That's the straw. And this around here is your fat and everything else. Lori couldn't be like, hey, Ty, I just want you to pour out a little bit from this side of the cup, but not any on that side. I'm be like, I can't pour out any one which way.
Yeah.
I have to either increase the size of this by eating more protein and doing specific exercises that build it up while also lowering this fat, which comes to eating right and checking the diet.
Yeah.
And that's the part where it was like, I don't want to hear that. Ugh, I don't know. Stop. Everybody just wants to think that, nope, I could tone up my butt and leave everything else and I'll be fine. And that is not how fitness works. And so that's what we want to get that point across, is that it's going to be a 2-in-1. Obviously, if you're doing CrossFit and you already feel like you have some strong legs, that's excellent. My next question would then be if you want to see more tone, what are you eating right now? What are your eating habits like? How much sugar are you consuming? What's your carb intake to your protein ratio? And those type of things are going to bring out the physique or the tone that you're looking for when we begin to reduce the fat. So that's where you have to start. And a lot of people, like I said, I know we don't want to hear that. We all just want to hear, no, all you have to do is back squats 5x10s 3 times a week, and you're going to tone up everything. That's not the case, guys. So if you want more advice, please speak with any of the coaches here, and we could literally guide you. We have goal reviews. We send out emails all the time. If there's a specific thing that you want help on or you need help with, yes, ask questions in the podcast box. But if you don't want it on the air, you want to come speak to one of us, we're here.
Yeah.
We're literally here to help you guys. And these are things that come up all the time. We have more knowledge than just, hey, that's a CrossFit workout because it says brace. We know a whole lot, and you guys should be taking advantage of the knowledge that you have at your fingertips. This isn't a normal gym where it's just some high school kids who scan cards. This is the real deal.
Yeah, it is. And full circle everything we've talked about before here. Like, if you want to just be a coach and go to Orange Theory, just be a coach. But your coach is here know nutrition, health, curing autoimmune diseases, getting rid of scoliosis and backs. Like, we're so blessed with an amazing coaching staff that gives a shit. And that's the big deal, right? Like, they look out into a class of people, some new, some have been here a while, some maybe their spouses or friends or family, and they're all treated the same. Like, we want you to be your best version of you, inside and out. And I'll remind you, the goal reviews are always free. We put in that time out of the goodness of our hearts, and then you get a free Steiger scan. So if you really want to know how much is muscle and fat, get on the 3D body scanner and then check a month later and click on your thigh measurements and watch the difference as it comes in, right? Because fat is a much leaner thing, or excuse me, muscle is much smaller than a pound of fat, a pound of muscle. Like,
Absolutely.
your size comes down. And everything's eventual. I think, like I told Ty, like, Ty's been doing amazing on the 100 ant. I'm not doing anything that specific. I'm just staying on my slow carbohydrate. But this last week and a half, I've dropped 3.5 pounds. Yeah, I'm back to like 2019 weight, and in about, I don't know, math is so hard for me. But even if I did only 10 more pounds, I'd look like I did at my wedding in 2018.
Wow.
So, and that was the fittest of my life. And I'm in perimenopause, and I'm going to be 48. Like, everybody wants excuses, but I think that it's like that Bible thing. If you do right, you'll go right. And I feel like that's food, working out, treating people, morals and values. Like, just do the right thing for you and keep going. Because for a while, remember I told you, I was traveling so much in March, and then the sinus infection, all this stuff. I'm like, I don't want to know what my Shoppa scale is telling my Whoop. I'm just going to look at the color and not look at the number. And then I was playing on my Whoop and I hit it on accident. I was like, what is this? And I look over at Tim, and then I text Ty on the Sunday. I bugged you on Sunday. Oh no, but because, we get it. Like,
yeah, these are huge wins.
These are huge wins. And whether you've been like really obese, like we have been in our life, or if you're just someone that's like, man, I really missed my body pre-COVID or pre-kids, please don't write it off like you can't get it back.
Exactly.
And don't use there's so many reasons why you think you can't, but there's a bazillion reasons why you can. That's what we're here for.
Literally. And so what I just want to add just a touch more. So Lori is touching on some huge things. a lot of us have accepted false beliefs. That's going to be another episode that we'll get into next
week. The next
but
thing.
I'm just going to say a preview to that is, guys, we are proof, and there's members here who are proof, who in their 40s and 50s have gotten PRs. They've gotten stronger. When the world has told you that you're going to lose your testosterone, you're going to get weak, they want you to fall for that lie. It's not real. We're proof. Our members are literal proof. There's been more, I would say this place is a much more honest science experiment than probably half the stuff that is getting published. We could literally pull metrics from years ago and see a person's progress and how much they've improved. Not only can we see how often they worked out to reach this point, but you could see the change from when they were even younger to older and getting stronger and stronger. One of our members, Mike Continello, he was just here on our show, I think a couple episodes back. Yeah. And he literally got his first bar muscle up. These are things that Mike wasn't even able to do in high school. He's told me, I'm stronger now than I was in high school. Now, I guarantee I've spoken to other guys in the same age group who'd be like, man, I remember back in high school. Yeah. Exactly. And it's just a mindset switch. But we will talk more about that on another episode.
Yeah. All right. So think of yourself as a fine wine. You're getting better with age. There's my Italian accent today.
I love
That's it. Okay. So we must deep dive into your incredible mobility program that you've put together. Like, guys, this is a real deal. So I'm just going to give it to Ty to talk about it. Anything that I have to just like freak out about and be like, oh my God, but give me a little bit more. You're like, we'll bounce back and forth, but take the stage because this is legit and I cannot wait to start it with you. So
right. I love that. So I'll be honest with you guys. We're going to free flow this from basically here on out. I knew that Laura was going to ask this, but I'm going to say why I wanted to start this. The main reason that I wanted to kind of start this CrossFit mobility program was because I put myself through my own test to see what changes I could see if I began to take my mobility seriously. So a couple things that a lot of people may not know, almost this time last year, I think it was March 22nd when I got my CrossFit level 2. I also tore my meniscus in my right knee, as well as I had a slight tear to the ACL as well. And I had severe swelling up to the hamstring. It was to the point where, obviously, for those who remember, I couldn't squat again. I was done with squatting. And then when I went to get the MRI done, they just confirmed everything that I just told you guys. And they were like, hey, you're going to be done with squatting. You need to probably think about doing something else other than this CrossFit thing. And anyone here at this gym who knows me, I am hard-headed and stubborn to a fault, but sometimes it's good. And this is one of those times where it was good. And this forced me to have to, figure out how to fix my own knee, but see if there was other things that I could do to help me get more comfortable with squatting again, to not only help me with improving my squat, but making sure that I don't end up in the same spot. And I'll be honest, I was one of those guys who came in CrossFit who was all about numbers and big weights, and I wasn't really about movement.
Yeah.
And it took me 4 years to realize the error of my ways. And so this CrossFit mobility course, the reason that I want to start it is because I want to give our members what I was able to find through this journey, which is the beauty of movement, for lack of better terms. So I used to suffer with chronic lower back pain, and not like anything from working out. It was probably just tight hamstrings. I used to wake up very stiff. I used to have to kind of tiptoe down the stairs at our home. All these little tiny things. I just always felt so rigid and tight. After getting warmed up, I could work out. Now, I spent I began to stretch every night for about an hour. I want to say I started that back in December. I began to stretch every single night from 9 o'clock to 10. I turned off the TV and I would literally just start with some basic stuff with the band. Actually, these were Coach Riddell's 3-leg, his hamstring, open up the hip, and then across the body. Nothing more than that. That was all that I had did. And I was like, look, Ty, just do that every night and just spend some time kind of moving around. It probably took about 4 days of that. And I woke up with no lower back pain. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on here?
That's legit.
Something started changing. And so naturally, as I began to go through this routine, I began to add some things towards shoulders, reinforced lats, and other areas that I had known I was always dealing with and sore, and also move muscles in areas that we use regularly in CrossFit. So that's why this course is a little bit different than yoga, is because I know what we do here. And we don't always need to sit in child's pose all day for what we need. And so I wanted to design a course that helped our members, but not only our members, anybody who does CrossFit to feel more comfortable so that they have better thoracic extension on their toe to bar, so that they know that they're engaging their lats while they're doing their pull-ups, so that when they're doing their thrusters, they're able to actually get into a front rack. Because all of us know how much this isn't as fun if you know you can't squat deep, if you know it hurts your wrist because you have to hold it up. And guys, if you could start to loosen up and feel very good, guess what? This stuff becomes a lot more fun and a lot less of a, oh, I'm so sore, I don't want to come in. Now it's like, I can't wait to come here because I know I feel good. And when you could move good, I'm telling you, the workouts aren't as hard. You move faster. You actually feel your heels flat. You actually begin to develop a body mind awareness because you're now listening and knowing, like, okay, I know I need to engage this. I know I need to bring up this. And so that is why, or that's kind of what had got my mind on, I want to give this to somebody else. I saw what it did with me. I need to pass this on. I'm not a freaking gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I'd like to give if it could help.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where this whole entire thing had started from. And Coach Lori can attest, like, movement's everything. Like, when you're able to know that you're in a deep squat, like when I watch you do like hang squat cleans and just drop on the bar, or how you kind of cycle because you're able to get those elbows and all those things, it makes everything more fun.
Yeah.
Because,
Sure. I love my cycling. Yeah.
and it's just one of those things that most people can't do it, not because they don't have the strength. It's just because they don't have the flexibility, or they just don't have what they need to actually move properly. And so we want to give you guys the gift of movement.
Yeah.
Big deal.
It's a huge deal. Yeah. It's going to be big. You need some assistant coaches when it's up to like 50 people in this room. Let me know.
Absolutely.
So are you considering any sort of like measurement from the start to the finish so people can see? Is there a measurable aspect to this? Because we have a lot of data driven people, like the people that are hardcore about keeping their numbers in, they want to see that empirical proof from a numerical standpoint. Like for me, I can feel it, because if I can just spring out of bed with my back, I know I'm doing a good job. And that's all I really care about, is how I feel and move in the class. But tell me what you were thinking about kicking around with that.
So this is actually a very good question. And after, so for those who don't know, Coach Lori, Tim, and I, we do a little bit more behind the scenes. And one of those things that we do is we actually, we have mentors who are other coaches who run gyms, and we have talks and we get info and we go back and forth off of each other. So we don't try to stay limited. We want to know what other gyms are doing and things of that nature. So it was funny. During one of our calls, we got a great tip of an assessment that we can use, and it is FMS, which is functional movement screening. So I'm going to tell you guys just a brief little bit about that. I'm actually glad that you brought this up. So functional movement screening, it's basically seven movements, and I'm going to basically measure and see where our individuals who actually show up to the class on day one, where they are within the 7 measurable movements to determine their level of flexibility. So one of the movements is going to be the deep squat. And what that is going to assess is obviously hip mobility, ankle mobility, if you could keep your core and your chest up in the movement. And we have scores for that. I'm not going to go too much into the scoring, but it's either a 0, 1, 2, and 3. 3 being the movement is perfect. 0 being not only is the movement not perfect, but when you're doing it, you are in pain. So that's kind of just that range. And that makes it very, very simple, because I could literally look at you and be like, that looks perfect. Or you could look at me and be like, oh my God, Ty, I could barely go down. There's your 0. So at least we'll be able to know as coaches, where you're at with certain movements. The next one that we have is the hurdle step. And what that's going to help us measure is your stride mechanics. A lot of us don't even realize that we may be off kilt when we walk or when we're doing things. Now, imagine you doing that for years, walking off kilt, running. being in the class and you don't even know that you're off balance. So that's something else that we're going to be touching on. The other thing that we're going to be touching on is an inline lunge. I know a lot of the people in our class, especially those who do barbell, we just got done with our back rack, our front rack reverse lunge, and there were still some people who were struggling to get their knee all the way down. There's something that we could do to assess that and not only take an assessment, but we could fix it. So that's going to be one of the movements as well. Another big one, shoulder mobility. We're going to be able to assess the bilateral range of motion as well as thoracic extension and scap activation and other aspects that work in the shoulders. Guys, I hear almost every day somebody's mentioning something about shoulders. All I'm going to say is this. If you're one of the individuals who ask me every single day, what can they do to fix their shoulders, and you don't take one time to show up to this course, no, you obviously
live.
Yeah. And all I'm going to say is that you obviously don't care that much. It's always one of those things that I love. Mid workout, Todd, I'm having something here. Cool. Let's go out and take a look. No. Let me finish up. Okay. After class. Oh, I got cough. Okay. So do you want to fix it or not? Or do you just want to voice it to me so it just sounds good that you got to hear yourself talk? Because if you want to hear yourself talk, you can just come and talk to me. You can say anything. You don't have to tell me about your problems or your pains. You just talk. But if you actually want to fix it, we're going to give you guys a course that's going to be able to actually do that. And so that's one of the other movements going to be the shoulder. I'm only touching that because that one comes up every single day. Shoulder, shoulders. So the next one that we're going to be doing is an active straight leg raise, and that's going to help us assess your hamstring flexibility as well as your calf flexibility. And then we're going to be doing a trunk stability push-up. That's going to help us determine your upper body and core strength. And then we're going to be doing a rotary stability test, which is going to see how well your upper and your lower body can coordinate as one. So
that's legit.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of stuff, but again, the main purpose is, well, how I kind of see this going is once we go through these assessments, all of you guys are going to see where you're pretty good at and where you are deficient. And then what we're going to be able to do from there is I'm going to be taking you through the course, teaching you things that are going to fix these issues. But here's where it matters for you. This can't be you can't expect to see some amazing change coming once a night for 30 minutes. I want you guys to almost look at this like a course where I'm giving you it and then you have to bring it into your life. You're going to take these, some of the bandit stretches that I show you guys. You're going to have to take some of the hip mobility things that I show you guys, and you're going to have to begin to implement them in your own cool downs here. But at least you'll know that you're doing it properly, so you'll be doing it with confidence. And that's kind of the purpose of the course. So you'll be able to add everything that we're giving you to your own personal toolbox. And anyone who comes to the gym knows we have everything you guys need. We have slopes, we have bands, we have foam rollers, we have lacrosse balls, the works. There's no excuse for you not to be able to fix yourself, especially now that we're basically giving you a personalized guide of what you need to work on the most. And that's what we're hoping that you guys are going to actually take advantage of this, because guys, we're only going to do this for 4 weeks. This is a pilot program. And yes, it is open to the general public as well. If you pay a drop-in fee, you are more than welcome to come. You don't have to be a member here. We want to help everybody because movement is truly a gift. Those who can't move wish they could. So
yeah,
just the fact that this is something that we could help you with and improve, it's not only going to help your life, but it's also going to help your performance in the gym, because you're going to be able to work out regularly. You're going to feel more confident in your squat. You're going to have a lot less pain, and you're going to be able to come more. So therefore, you're going to be seeing more results. I can't sell it anymore.
It sounds like too good to be true, but I know it's true. So I'm excited. But it's just like it's everything, because I'll tell you this. For a month and a half, I was just waking up and like in the middle of the night because my hands would tingle and go numb. So get an adjustment. Chiropractor I've been seeing for a long time, and he's just like, "Oh, it's your thoracic spine. It's all the things I'm doing, and not putting in the mobility and the stuff and stretching. It was my own doing." And then, believe it or not, just like getting a hot stone massage when we were in Arizona for Ashley's 17th. that between the adjustment and that, I've been fine. But it's that thing where, okay, we're always too busy or it's too expensive to get an adjustment massage or whatever. So then just come to a class that's included in membership and learn this and do little things at home so that you don't have to carve out 2 hours for an adjustment, a massage, and pray that the pillow holds your neck in place that night, right? Like it's all important, and none of us do as much as we should. You do, and Tim actually does too. Sometimes I worry that he's overdoing it. Sometimes our living room is set up that if you want to watch TV, you should be on the floor with all the tools under the couch, or the sauna in the corner, or the foam roller, or the lacrosse ball, the band, the massage thing around the neck. Like it's all there. Like it's a functional living room, right? Like it's You're living, you're doing something in there. But do it here with friends. And Ty's like I give him expert level on this stuff. Like if you see me struggling, like, oh, I can't really get warmed up for the snatch, like you'll tell me things to do. I can ask you, be like, do this, get the band. You always get the bands, or the bands with our leg, taking it out and stretching it. Because my hamstrings and calves are my like Achilles heel, right? After tearing a calf walking down 5 steps. So, little things like that I can't wait for. Everything you launch goes well beyond a pilot program, but it really is up to attendance. So get in here. And since guests can come, if you're trying to get your spouse in here to get them ready for regular movement, they can be a part of CrossFit with you. Maybe you guys join the local kickball league we just learned about this today. I don't know. If you're going to be active, like you have to keep up on your mobility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So guys, for anybody who's possibly contemplating, let me tell you who should be the type of person who should be coming here. Number one, everybody, but let's just get a little bit deeper. If you tend to struggle with getting the bar to rest comfortably in the front rack, this course is for you. If you have a habit of getting into a squat and you find yourself coming up on your toes, this course is probably for you. If you constantly wake up in the morning and it's to get that lower back going and you think your hamstrings are tight, this course is for you. If every time you get up from sitting for a long period of time and you feel like there's literal cinder blocks on your feet, this course is for you. If you're someone who's been on the bar and you constantly try to get your toe to bars, but you just you can't just tie it in because you don't have it, or your overhead squat falls forward, this is for you. And then the other thing that I want to let you guys know is that the mindset that you guys come into this course, which should not be the same mindset that you have for a normal class. The coach is going to be guiding you, but I want people who want to learn how to do this for themselves. That's what this approach is. So even if you come with something to write some stuff down on, like look at this as almost like a presentation. Like, yes, I'm going to obviously walk you guys through. I'm going to watch you guys do the movements. I'm going to be doing it with you so that we're doing it properly and making sure that you guys are doing it. But in the same hand, I want you to come with a different mind of, I'm not here to work out. I'm here to learn how I can get myself better.
Yeah.
I'm here to actually take some tips that I could implement into my daily life that's going to improve my quality of life. That is the purpose of this course. So for those who are going to be coming here, we're going to be doing it next Thursday. Again, first week of April. It's going to be 6:45 in this same very room where we shoot our podcast, Sweeto.
Yeah.
And it's going to start with an assessment. I'm telling you guys, please, you do not want to miss the first day, because then you're already going to be literally behind. If this was school, would you let your kids miss the first day and not get the syllabus and everything? So you need to take that same mindset if you actually want to make a change. If you don't care, then that's fine. You don't have to come. You can just come and do what you want. But for those who are serious and want to make improvements to their movement and see that transfer over to not only their everyday life, but to the CrossFit, this is for you guys. So I hope to see you guys here.
So the quote that comes to mind to describe who this is for is when Glassman said, CrossFit isn't for everyone, it's for anyone. Anyone that wants to be fit, healthy, exercise, feel good, sleep better.
I love that.
So mobility with Ty isn't for everyone, it's for anyone that wants to get better, feel better, move better. Like literally. And it could have been everybody or everyone, but I'm not good at memorization. Let's be honest. Like if you had 30 people in the room, let me know 10 names and we're going to call it an A+ for the day. I don't know what it is with my brain. Excuse me, that's like that, but that's the quote. And I think that's the whole quote for CrossFit Santa Rosa.
Absolutely.
Right? I love it. All right, guys, this is a lot. We got a lot coming up, but I would say my main focus is definitely for me and for everyone I coach, which is everyone in here, like the mobility. So we'll, Tim and I will be here to help write notes down for measuring out stuff, and I can put an assessment sheet together. We're making it like legit, like you're gonna have your name and we'll have the date and the measurements, and then that last one we'll remeasure and we'll see how you did, right?
Exactly.
So then your data-driven minds are at ease.
Exactly.
Even though you knew you felt better, but I know, kind of like people tell you you've lost weight, but unless you see the number, you don't really believe it.
Yes.
I get it. So we get it. Okay. Next week we're just gonna blow out the naysayers and the negative self-talk and the how we hold ourselves back from living to our full potential. That'll be a great episode. But actually, before that, no, we have. So this Friday, we are recording a second podcast this week, and it'll be about Verta Health. And then the following week will be about just how to get past the, oh, I can't, or I'm too old, or my doctor said that. My doctor said I'd never lift more than a glass or a jug of milk after my back surgery.
Look at you now.
I'm going to talk to that 108-pound split jerk because we got a problem. That's a really heavy jug of milk, right? So, yeah, I mean, just think about that. What else can I tell you? Yes, we are counting down the days till April 3rd for the first mobility. Unfortunately, Monday coming up is still March. So the following Monday, which I believe is the 7th of April, we'll kick off beginner's class. And then I will solidify the academy date when my coaches and I find a Sunday that we think is best for everyone. So that it's not just Zach, like, what if it's overwhelming 30 people in the class? We want to make sure all hands are on deck for that. Hey, if you're not subscribing, hit like and subscribe. If you found this podcast, we're on Spotify, Keeping It Real with TNL. CrossFit SR 925, Coach Ty 925, Coach Lori 925, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, just get on board with everything because we're really hitting this crescendo with momentum and more information and ways to help you live your best, healthy, most satisfying life that you can live. Because that's why we're here.
Absolutely. And I don't want to comment on any other places, but this gym, we've been adding more programs. We've been adding more. We've come up with ways to increase our level of service to you guys. We're not looking at who could get home the fastest. We're trying to be the gym that gives you guys the most. And I hope you guys can see that.
Yeah.
I really do. We are not trying to do anything but give you guys things that are going to help you. And anyone who comes to this gym, anyone who's spent any amount of time with us knows that's true. That's all we're trying to do here. So, but as always, stay classy and consistent. Until next time, Sam Ramon. See you guys.